Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest look at your forecast heading into this day after Christmas on this Tuesday. Yesterday, we had highs in the mid to upper 30s, even got up to 40 in Lawrence and Kansas City, although that was probably a temperature that occurred before sunrise with the colder air pushing in through the day and allowing those temperatures to drop and stay steady in the 30s all day. Did get a little bit of precipitation yesterday, wasn't quite as much as what we had in several areas on Sunday, where several areas got a couple inches worth of rainfall. So here's where we stand. We are now above average for the month, which is good because, even though we'll get some quick bursts of precipitation, especially in the form of snow today, we are going to be dry after today for the remainder of the month and the year. So we got up above average. We're still going to be behind for the year, but at least we're above average for the month with more than 2 inches in Topeka and Manhattan, more than 3 in Emporia, and a little over 1.5 in Concordia. As I mentioned, snow is going to be likely today. Yes, likely. How much is going to accumulate? That's going to be the uncertainty, but snow is likely today. Mid-30s for high, so above freezing, so that could limit a little bit on how much snow is able to develop. But regardless, we are in a winter weather advisory for the entire WIBW viewing area. We're 1 to 2 inches, possibly some isolated 3 inches can't be ruled out, and that will be something that we'll be keeping a close eye on through the day today. So Supercast shows this snow through the day, especially this afternoon for our eastern communities, and so that's where the highest probability of impacts will be, coming down at a burst potentially heavy enough to have problems out on the roadways, especially for that evening commute, and there will be some snow for that morning commute too, but a little bit heavier for the evening commute to where that could cause some problems. So you'll want to give yourself some time. You probably can't leave work early, but you definitely want to make sure that you are aware that you may be a bit on the slow side heading back home. So just be aware of that. So we take a look at tonight into tomorrow. This is probably the only supercast or computer model, I should say, that is keeping the snow chance in for our far eastern communities late tonight and even through the day tomorrow. Most models have Wednesday dry, so that'll be something that we'll have to watch out for. I do have us dry on Wednesday officially, but if this model were to pan out, we may have to put in a snow chance in, especially for our eastern communities for Wednesday. Otherwise, you can still see a little bit of it as we head towards Wednesday evening. So how much snow could we potentially get from that computer model that I just showed you? Well, many spots getting about 1 to 2.5, maybe getting close to 3 inches worth of snowfall. So again, that's about what I showed for the winter weather advisory. Some of the other computer models showing different locations of where the heavier snowfall is going to be. So that's really the biggest question, is where are these heavy bursts going to be? Just to give you an idea of what we're looking at as far as the probabilities are concerned, a little bit higher probability of getting more than 2 inches from Topeka to the northeast, especially around the Oskaloosa area. That's more so due to the potentially heavy downbursts this afternoon, and then maybe some snow lingering both tonight and tomorrow morning. More than 4 inches, you can see how it really drops down. So yes, there could be some isolated 3, maybe between 3 and 4, but anything more than 4 is going to be very minimal. I can see nothing, no probability of getting more than 6 inches, but it's still going to cause some problems, so just be aware of that. You'll notice that we are now getting into some minor winter storm impacts here in northeast Kansas, not just limited, and western Kansas seeing minor, pretty widespread. Eastern Colorado, western Nebraska seeing moderate travel issues. So keep that in mind if you're doing any traveling the day after Christmas. As we continue to look into Wednesday, we'll continue the limited impacts. And this does include, this graphic actually goes from midnight to midnight, so this would include anything from midnight to mainly sunrise, and then I don't really expect much in the way of impacts on Thursday, at least here in northeast Kansas. You can see a little bit up there in Nebraska. So that's your quick travel update. If you're curious about any travel concerns, of course, going to candrive.org or a specific other state that you need to check out driving conditions in that state, make sure to check out those road conditions. Stuck in the 30s, lows in the 20s over the next couple of days, warming back in the 40s, more seasonal by Friday into the weekend. A little bit of uncertainty on how warm it will get on New Year's Day. We'll look at that here in just a second, but just a quick look at the extended outlook. It has 6 to 10 day outlook. Normal or equal chances of below normal and above normal temperatures and precipitation. Same for the 8 to 14 day outlook and the 3 to 4 week outlook. Warm and wet, relatively speaking. All right, so as I mentioned, New Year's Day, still a little bit of uncertainty on how warm it will get. The European model is coming in with a little bit colder temperatures compared to the GFS, so definitely something that may change in the 8-day forecast based on what model ends up being right. So just be aware of that. We will be monitoring a cold front between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. How cold it is, what the timing of that will be, that will determine on our temperature forecast. But regardless, I expect it to be dry. So even though there's some differences in the model temperature-wise, both models keep us dry. So we can go off of that. In the meantime, stay safe for today. Please be aware of the possible downburst of heavy snow and reduced visibility. Just like in fog, you could get a brief downburst of snow, but that could also increase the risk for slick conditions out on the roadways. So just be slow. Take it slow. Take your time. Be patient. Have a great day.